Hi everybody, Ed Diaz here. In today's video, we're going to give you a basic overview of the Roland VR730. Let's get started. So when you first take a look at the Roland VR730, you see a lot of interesting things going on as far as the top of the unit. So let's go through each section of the VR730 so you have a better understanding of what each section does. The first section I want you to take a look at is the organ section. The VR730's organ engine is a modeling-based organ. Sounds incredible. So if I want to just hear the organ, I'll press the organ button here. And we have a couple different types of organs. So we'll have the rock organ, transistor organ, and of course we'll have the jazz organ. So let's take a listen to some of those right now. So if I'll put it in transistor, use that model, I can get something like this. So, and then of course I can use my harmonic bars here to change the overall sound of that organ. So that one is the transistor. Let's check out another one. The rock organ is going to have a little bit more dirt to it, and when I say dirt, a little bit more distortion. So let's go ahead and take a listen to that. That's a great sound, a little bit more distortion, and we're going to get into how to adjust the effects to maybe put even more if we want. And now I'll go into the next model, and that is going to be the jazz organ, a little bit more clean sound, and let's take a listen to it right now. And of course, once again, we can go ahead and adjust the different footage here, or the harmonic bars, or draw bars, however you need to think about it. So it's all right there. So that's the organ mode of the VR730. Let's check out the next mode, which is piano. So in this piano mode, there's a lot of different sounds going on. So we see the major categories are piano, electric piano, clav, and others right here. So I went ahead and select piano, and I hit piano here, and we can go ahead, just a nice piano, you know, a lot of good sounds, but then if we want to, we can go ahead and adjust the different pianos in here. So there's a whole bunch of them that we can use. Another great thing about the VR730 are the effects. Now the VR730 has 7 simultaneous effects that are always running. And the reason we did this is so that way, if you're new to go ahead to using effects inside your keyboards, it's very easy to do. So let's take, for example, this piano here. And if we look, it says the master effects that's already set for this sound is a pitch shifter. So sounds fine. Sounds fine right away, but if we just use the master effects knob, we can easily adjust that live and on the fly. Maybe take it back off. Maybe adjust it back. A little bit more crazy with the pitch shifter. So the great thing is I don't really have to know about all the specific parameters within the pitch shifter. As I turn the knob, it's going to adjust that particular effect to the most common settings. So that's something that's wonderful there. Let's check out another sound in the piano section, another tone, and maybe the EP tone. And we have a 75 EP right here. Maybe check out another one right here, and I'll just move over here. Nice vintage. And notice, as I play the keyboard, depending on how I strike the keys at velocity, a little bit different sound. So I can really get in there and get all those subtle nuances of the sound. So I might come in. so I can get all those subtle nuances. So that's something that's really cool in there. A couple more, maybe we'll show this Stone EP right here. Once again, MFX on this particular tone is set for small phasers. So I can go into the MFX and adjust it even more. So you can actually hear it coming in, and this is great for live use. Ultimately, the VR730 is the live musician's keyboard. It's great, very easy to use. So there we go. Let's check out a couple more sounds inside the piano section of the VR730, and I'll hit the clav section. Let's go ahead and use this phase clav 1, not 2, let's go ahead and use this clav 2. We've been adding effects, but what if we wanted to take away effects? So in this particular sound, I hear a lot of reverb. I might not want the reverb, but very easy to add or take off. I can just go into this effects section right here, and the 6 effects here and rotary, that's what makes it 7. So those are always going on. So if I don't want that reverb, I can just take it off. And notice what happened. When I adjusted that reverb, another window came up, so I can adjust what type of reverb. Maybe I want to do a hall, cathedral, plate, whatever, right in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and set on room right now. I'm going to take it to 0. It's very, very quick. Now if I wanted to bring in that MFX, and on that particular tone it's set for phaser, I'll just bring it in Master Effects. If I want to, I can take it back off. Maybe I'll bring something else in, maybe a little bit of delay. And you see, once again, when I adjust the delay, another window pops up, and I can change what type of delay. So that's something that's cool in here. So let's hear a little with a little bit of delay. But a little bit of phaser. That's really cool. So you see very easily on the VR730, I can go ahead and bring in any of the 7 simultaneous effects, or I can take them out. So we went ahead and added that phaser, and we added some delay. And if I realize, hey, I didn't like that delay on that particular sound, I could just go ahead and reach over and turn it off very quick. Let's go ahead and check in the other section in the piano. And you're going to find a bunch of sounds in here as well. So a lot of different ones in here that you can use. So you just kind of go through it and have some fun going through those. All right, now let's check out the third section of the VR730, and that is the synth section. The synth section is going to give you a lot of great categories such as brass, strings, synth lead, bass, pad, just a whole bunch of different things you can go through. So let's start off with this brass area. So in the brass, if I start off with the JP8 brass, maybe something like this, you know. Sounds good, but if I wanted to, I could also adjust how much effect. Maybe I'll go ahead and put a little bit of modulation right there. Maybe on this particular one, I'll adjust the compressor and have that in here so we can really fill it up. Take down some of that modulation. And maybe I'll go ahead and bring in a little bit of the tone. Maybe we'll bring in a little bit of delay right here. Very quick, very easy. Now, one more thing I wanted to show you about this synth section is that when you're inside the synth section, now the drawbars will act as attack, decay, release, and cutoff, and your resonance right on the drawbars. So let's say, for example, this synth section, a nice JP8 brass once again, just maybe I want to turn that JP8 brass more into a string, since I'm obviously using a super saw. So I can adjust the attack. Check that out. So we took the attack, which was more infinitive right here, and we made it a slower attack. So, and then maybe I'll adjust that release so that way the sound doesn't release as soon as I let go of the key. It hangs over a little bit. There we go. Maybe we'll shape the sound a little bit more by using the cutoff. And here we go. Let's use it right here. Maybe we'll shape it even further by really dialing in that cutoff frequency and making it resonate a little bit using the resonance. Very cool. So that's just one way we can dig into the sounds inside the VR730. Let's look at a couple more sounds inside here. Maybe make nice JPH strings. We went ahead and played one a minute ago, but now we play one that's already here. Maybe I want to bring that filter, open up the filter a little bit. Maybe bring up that tone a little bit more. A little bit of compression. Very, very cool. Let's check out a nice lead right here. And we'll just use this pure lead. I love this one. Once again, if we want more or less of an effect, we can just grab the knob and just adjust it. So we hear that delay, and it's a 3-tap delay. Here we go. We'll put it on a regular tempo delay. So it takes a little bit longer to kick in. A little bit faster delay. Maybe we'll go into the Master Effects, which is a ring modulator, and adjust it a little bit as well. So pretty cool. As you see, the three different tonal sections of the VR730 are pretty hip, from the tone wheel organ section, the piano section, and the synth section. So those are the three areas where we can go ahead and choose what type of sounds we're using. Now, if we check out the drum section, there's a whole lot of different drums in here. And so we can come into here and just choose some drums, and this could be good for using inside your computer for playing back and doing some beats using a computer. There is not a sequencer in here, but there is a looper, and the looper will allow you to loop for 20 seconds, and you can just keep on building on that. Also, there is a song rhythm section right here, which if we press it one time, it goes to the song section, and it'll allow you to play back files from a USB thumb drive right through here. If we press it again, it'll allow you to play different rhythms that are built inside the VR730. So that's totally cool. And you see you have all your different transport controls right there. So that's pretty hip, very easy to understand. Once again, on the effects section, there are 7 effects always running simultaneously inside the VR730. We have overdrive, tone, compressor, MFX, which changes according to the specific tone that you're working on, delay, reverb, and of course the rotary sound right here, the rotary speaker. And those are all going simultaneously, and we took a lot of the common parameters of each of those effects, and we have them assigned within the knob term. So you won't have to go and know all the different parameters. This is great if you're new to synths and using effects, or maybe you just want to get something done very fast. You can do it very quickly there. If we take a look over on this side, USB memory goes right here. So we just go ahead and format a thumb drive and plug it in, and you can go ahead and back up your VR730, or you can also have playback audio files right into the VR730. Also, USB and computer, you can use this as a MIDI controller right into your computer. This does transmit MIDI right into the computer. So if you want to use it with any kind of your notation programs or any of your DAWs, you can totally do that. If we look over here, Here's our phone jack. Of course, we have our left and right output. An external input, we can also run, maybe we'll take some kind of MP3 player or audio source, and it's an 1/8 inch input. We can go ahead and play back right into the VR730 as well. Now, for all of you organ players that like to play full-on organ, so we have our top manual, our secondary manual, and then pedals. This does have an input here, so if you want to, you can MIDI up to some pedals and kick some bass. If you want to do that, that's totally awesome. Of course, MIDI in, MIDI out. Now, at its core, the VR730 is an organ, so there is an expression pedal, because as you know, if you're playing Tonewall organ, you're not going to be using your volume knob, you're going to probably be using your expression pedal. So I suggest you go ahead and get some type of expression pedal for it as well. Now, since the VR730 is kind of a hybrid, because it does organ and piano and synth, we also have a damper input right there. So very, very fun, very easy to use. So stay tuned. We're going to continue to dig into the VR730 and check out all the cool tones and functionality that it has available. All right, my name is Ed Diaz. You guys take care. We'll talk to you soon.